On this episode of Drinks Around the Table, I sit down with cartoonist Rick Lopez. We talk shop about attending shows, the anthology where his Cosmicat lives, Next Panel Press, and the inside scoop on his excellent comic, The Power. Hope you enjoy. How long have you been doing shows?
Maybe the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Just started with signings at different comic shops, some local ones, some that I've had to drive down to, or in LA, with Collector's Paradise. That's Eli Schwab's local. So they did that's kind of that thing kind of snowballed too, because we did what do they call it, Free Comic Book May. And every weekend they had people signing in May because they have 3 different stores, and so they had us sign at one, and then it was really good, and then well, you want to do this other store and the next week or the week after? It was really close after, and so we did that one, and then so last year we got invited to LA Comic-Con, and it was because of them basically. And then this year it was the same thing again. They gave us the invite a few months back now. And so we'll be in this creators court in Artist Alley. There'll be a lot of cool people there.
That's awesome. Artist Alley's fun.
Yeah. LA was a lot of fun last year, so I'm sure this one will be really cool. We're close to Shelley Bond and stuff, so it's cool to see her and Philip.
Nice. You did some lucky draws on location.
It's because of California. That's what I keep telling other people, like David Grom and stuff. Because when we went to what was it called, Permanent Damage, that was down in LA too. But then that's how I ran into Jaime. Jaime, he was just there with Katie. She was tabling. But when I first got there, I'm looking for Adam Lemna and Eli. And so Adam's super tall. If you haven't seen him in person, he's real tall. So I'm just looking for him, and I walk right past their table. But they were there. Il Strips was there, if you don't know him. Simon Hanselman was there. Andrew McLean was there. But that's how I met Jaime, and then I asked him hey, could we interview you on the show? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we talked, I corresponded with Katie for a bit, and then we got him on. It was awesome. But awesome. It's California. It's not. It's same thing. A few months. I shared it today, but today last year we saw that Grant Morrison live talk. And at the end of it, I hopped the stage.
Yeah.
Back. Right.
That was cool. All right, well, let's focus on you a little bit. Okay, so cartoonist. Everything I know of you, of your work, is all you. Do you collaborate much?
So I've done I did one story with Adam Lemna. Well, okay, it was for his book Relic Hunter, but Manny Gomez from Monkeys Fighting Robots, he wrote the story, and I did 6 pages for that. And I feel like that was the first time someone wrote for me. Well, I don't know if it was for me in particular, but going off someone's script. And then I'm doing the same thing with Rocco right now for Rocco Jerome for the next Ghost Agents book. Right, and that's another 6-pager for that. But when I did 1 page in another Ghost Agents book and Rocco gave us all a real vague description. We there was 4 of us or 5 of us that did gave us all the same description, and we all came up with something different. Okay. But it wasn't really. It was we all did pinups, so it was a little different than this. So, yeah, not too often, but for certain stuff, if it's fun or whatever, I don't know.
Right.
I'm down.
Just chasing whatever cool idea. All right. Well, then, so as a cartoonist, do you approach a project through the writing first, the drawing first, or just vary on what the project is?
No, it's definitely always with The Power and Cosmicat even. It always starts with the visual. Even with all the Cosmicat updates, I know what's going to happen. And I'll thumbnail it out, I'll put it in my template, I'll get it printed out, clean it up with pencils, and then it's okay, now what are they saying? And then I'll start filling in the dialogue after that. I I don't always, or maybe I'll know like one part of it, but I won't know the whole thing, you know?
Yeah. No, I get you.
And like same with the power too, definitely. I do the art first and then I kind of figure out what I'm putting on there afterwards. So that one's a little bit more different, but still similar.
Yeah. Well, so what decides the type of, like, because I've seen you've done zines, mini comics, floppies. How do you decide what project, like what the end result's going to be? So for like the power, like you went floppy, and Cosmicat is coming out the way it's coming out. So what decided each of that for you?
So when I first started the power, I thought saying it out loud is always just like, I don't know how I thought that was gonna work, but I thought I was gonna finish all 4 issues, put those out in a trade all out at the same time, which it doesn't ever make sense when I don't really know exactly why I was thinking that, but I'm kind of like getting the first issue, like working on that, trying to get it hammered out. Because I want to say, like, right before it happens, I'm thinking, okay, I need to just put the first issue out and just focus on that. And so I'm like, right as I'm working on that, that's when, like, pandemic starts to hit. And that's when the lockdowns happen. And I think, like, a few days after that, that's when Jerome started, he did that first, Jerome Cabanatan, he did that first page for Image Grand Design.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's got, like, I don't even think it's used, like, other than just being in the back, but it kind of got the ball rolling on that. And then that's when I met so many people from like Zoom and stuff, and I learned so much shit when we were working on Image Grand Design. So when I came back to the first issue, I was like, okay, I fixed up a few things, and then I put out the first issue, and then that kind of got the ball rolling from there, like at least with the book. And then because I mean, like, I want the floppy, and it's the same thing with Cosmicat, but like with the minis, I can be less patient with the minis. I can get a smaller amount of pages, and like with Cosmicat, I have been I mean, when I first started drawing him, he does not look the same necessarily as he does now, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've been drawing him for like almost 3 years, and each update now, this is kind of like real inside baseball for whoever even really cares about this shit, but each page has 8 panels for each update, because I wanted a full page, but the first 4 strips were only 4, so they were just half pages. And on top of that, the first 11 strips, I put actual gray on the board. And so like the way I do everything, like when I scan it in, try and get all my blacks and whites balanced, that gray totally throws it off. And so like I've been going back through those first 11 and redoing them completely, and like way better in my opinion. Like I'll show you one of them. But the idea is this is the first page all over again now, yeah. And so the idea is to get into like a full-size comic, and it'll be ideally, I think it's about 44 pages. So it'll be pretty big. There'll be a few pinups in the back of that. And then I'll work on getting that second year together, and then after that I'll get on some sort of schedule so right now I'm just like catching up. But that's the big one. I would really like that done by December, but I don't know if that's totally possible or not, because there are a lot of pages I would like to fuck with.
Yeah. Well, no,
but
I mean, the result was cool. The end result was cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas with that one, and like the mini is cool to be able to do it like that. I could never see doing the power like that.
Yeah.
But for like a black and white comic, like it's nice, it's cheap, and then it's like easy way to like demonstrate to other people too, like a lot of kids, even when it's just like, if you do a page a week or even a page every 2 weeks, you can have a book in no time, and you can fucking print them out dirt cheap over at Staples or wherever, you know?
Yeah.
Some mom and pop shop.
That's entirely how I did Beyond the Vagabond. I just, for me, that's what the pandemic did, was like, I was like, I'm going to learn to draw. I'm in my 40s. Sure, I'll learn to draw now. Yeah. And I got to digging it. And 1 page a week. Like my weekends are to do a page of a comic. And then, I mean, it was
that's awesome.
26 weeks later, I had the first issue done. So,
yeah, exactly.
That really is what it is. Yeah, it was just decide you're going to do it. Okay, so what was your first published work?
Technically it was when I was working on the Power, I was doing these like priority mailing stickers, like slaps, you know. I was doing like different, like drawing different characters on them, and like this dude hit me up and he's like, hey, I want to put you in my zine. I'm like, okay, like let's do it. And like it was like a small interview, and then like it's all just pictures of the slaps, like a few of them that I did, and then it's like a vague mentioning like I have this book, The Power, I'm working on. And so that's like the first thing, but I think after that there's something else, but then it's got to be like issue 1 of The Power, Wizard 2's in there, Image Grand Design, which The Power, because like we finished all of our stuff for Image Grand Design, but just like with everything that it took to like get it to print, like I still printed issue 1 of The Power first.
Really? So it dropped
even though
first?
my pages were done on Image Grand Design way before that.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. It played out how it played out. All right,
yeah,
so
it just played out how it played out.
I want to tackle all of your stuff. Like I said before we started recording, I'm gonna hit the thing that like hit me hardest last. So other than that, this is coming in no particular order. But how does Next Panel Press come into play?
A mixture of my love for heavy metal and my love for 8-Ball, and just continually bugging Craig, like, Craig, we all need our own like 8-Ball and neat stuff. Like we need to make, cause like, I don't know, probably like some delusions of grandeur or something, but I'm like, we could bring back our own like anthologies and we all have our own, you know? And I think it just somehow evolved into like, we could do a strip, like a Sunday strip together. And we tried it one time and it didn't really go anywhere. And there was another party involved that kind of flaked out on us.
Right.
And so we ended up trying it again with me, Craig, and David Grom. And then it was going for a bit. Grom hurt his hand. And then we told Eli, like, hey, dude, you want to fill in for a little while? And then we're like, well, why don't we just bring you on? And then that kind of got the ball rolling of bringing other people on and stuff like that, which I keep thinking about that. I'm like, we need to get more people on again. Like, I think we're, I don't know. Everyone just has so much shit going on, you know? So I think like not everyone can be super dedicated at all times.
Right. Well, particularly with so many hours in the day that, I mean, you got your own stuff you want to do. But I will say, how it's playing out now, I mean, the concept is a blast, because I love that Sunday Comics feel.
Right.
Like, that
every
time
it
hits
idea.
Instagram. So, the idea was brilliant. And I mean, as anthologies go, you know, I guess more would be cool, but you've got like a sweet spot right now.
I'm really happy. It's pretty crazy when we're like, it's almost the 3rd year already, because like Cosmicat goes concurrent with Next Panel Press, you know, so it's like damn, we're already almost towards the 3rd year already. That's crazy. And then same with Cosmicat too, because at first when I'm talking to Jerome about it, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be Fritz in space. He does drugs, he shoots guns, and he fucks. Like, it was so like stupid, you know. But then it just evolved so much further now to where I have a blast with Cosmicat. It's way different than The Power, but
I mean, it comes out that way. Like, it feels like you're having a blast.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's funny too, because I'll get people that'll say like opposite too, where they're just like, The Power is great, like it's really cool, but you know, tell me more about that cat with the joint. I'm like, all right, I understand.
I mean, that's good. You've got audiences for both.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Diversity. All right, so what are the creative origins of Cosmicat? I mean, I get Fritz the Cat angle in space. Was that pretty much, I mean, was that the germ that kicked everything off, or does it go beyond that?
I need to look into this again a little bit more, but there's this. So, a few years back, it was on Instagram. There was a bunch of us that did this monthly art, I guess, project or such together. But the whole idea was we get a bunch of indie creators and we take like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, and Modern covers, and then do like an homage with each one using indie creator characters.
Okay.
And so I think when I got to, at some point, I think I did I think it's on the Grant Morrison one. It's one of them. But I did all Justice League covers. But basically, this is what I need to look up, because I don't remember who drew it. But they had done this, because I'm like looking through my Instagram for all these people. I'm like, come on, who else has characters? Because I've been trying to do a bunch of people's characters, and all the Justice League covers have 1 million fucking people on them.
Right.
And I need to look again, but I forgot who it is. They had a character they did for like some class. They used in like 2 pages called Gun Cat, and he's just he's just like, he's got goggles and he's got a helmet on, and I'm like, this dude just gave up this cat. Like, I'm like, I want a cat character, and I kind of like I definitely like give them some credit that like definitely got the itch going. Where I'm like, damn, I want a character like this, you know?
Yeah.
I want a cute little cat character, because like this I look at every day. This is the first one I drew of him.
That's dope.
And I'm like, no, he needs to be cuter. His face needs to be smaller. But in like
Right.
the last few strips of Cosmicat, I actually included this one in there, and he'll kind of play a cool role in the story. So he'll get his due, and we'll do some meta shit with him too.
That's awesome. I dig that. I mean, that's why I asked the question. I like looking at where things started to where they currently are, or where they end up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's fun to me. All right, so we'll get into the power. So
Okay.
I guess Cosmicat would have been the first thing I saw.
Okay.
It's the next panel press, but no, I don't remember now which hit first, but I know which hit hardest to me, and it was the power. And all right, I want to tell you my take,
Okay.
like how I took it away, and if you would please not tell me if I'm right or wrong. Just let me
Yeah,
have
that's
it.
fine. Yeah.
All right, so it started very sterile to me. The art was very clean, and what I mean by that, it had a creepiness to it. That, like, when you showed the out of the house, like the neighborhood and everything, it felt like The Simpsons, void of any characters. Like, it was very Twilight Zone-esque, where it was like, oh, okay, this is the world of The Simpsons before reality's turned on. Like, this is the background stuff. And so then the boy goes in and he starts to draw, and then all of a sudden it takes this turn to where it's got the vibe of Bowman in his EVA pod, like right before, like looming before the monolith over Jupiter, and the lights start, and bam, and that was immediately where I went with it. And then it became this weird like metaphor of loneliness staving off, like imagination staving off loneliness. Like, and again, don't correct it, I don't want to know if I'm right or wrong, but like that hit hard. Like I wasn't a lonely kid or anything, but like that innate ability to fend off an emotion through imagination blew my mind. And then it just like started getting into like, and I know there's like a lot of esoteric stuff, and there's a lot of like imagery that has origins elsewhere, but even understanding that, I was just like, I don't care. Like I don't, this is my take, and this is where I'm going. And I've been ever since. Like, we talked about the fact that I bought 2 of issue 3 because I forgot I'd already bought it. I saw it pop up and I was like, oh shit, it's out. And I hit it, and you like, hey, you already bought this. Did you want to? And, yeah, sure. I don't care. Just like, give me the copy. So where did all that come from? Like the actual stuff, not my take on it. Like,
I understand.
I know I've heard you say that it's a more personal take than Cosmicat say, but
right.
Yeah, what's the origin there of the power? Sorry to fawn so much on you about it.
No.
I told you I was saving it for last for that reason.
Well, I really appreciate that, dude. That was really nice of you. So for a while I wasn't drawing. I thought that I was going to get other people to draw my stories. And I kept thinking, I'm going to be a writer and I'm going to get into DC and I'm going to write all my favorite characters in there. And it was like multiple things that happened at the same time though. But so it's like I'm going back to college and I'm like killing it. But I feel so fucking empty while I'm there. Like I feel like I'm like, what am I doing here? Like I feel like I'm circling the drain. And I'm like, when I would hang out with people, whatever, I'd be like, give them a character and be like, okay, give me I'd tell them to give me a character, and then I would pitch them a first issue, like coolest thing I could think of for this character. And I would do this all the time. And then around the same time, I remember Scott Snyder of all people. Not like I'm a huge fan of him or anything, but he makes like this tweet. Basically, I felt like he was talking to me because he's like, if you're thinking about trying to pitch your ideas to DC, like it's not gonna work, like they're not gonna listen to them. You need to make your own stuff basically, and then they'll like hire you after that. And so I'm like, okay, so like kind of a light bulb moment a little bit. But then another dude that I hadn't seen in a while, he comes by, and I'm like trying to do the same exercise with him, and he's like, well, why don't you come up with your own story? And then that kind of got the ball rolling in my head too. And he does tattoos, and he still does tattoos. And like for a while, I'm like doing all the thumbnails and getting all the script together. And I'm like, you gotta draw this for me. And I don't know if I was just like overly excited or he just, I don't know. But eventually, like I realized he's not gonna do it, and that's what kind of starts that first image of the house. Because then I like drew the house, and then I kind of figured out, like, okay, I could zoom it and blow it down just on like the tablet, just trying to figure out how to like. So that kind of got the ball. Like, I mean, I'm like sketching and stuff again, but before that, but that like got the ball rolling on like making comics every day and stuff. But man, that book, yeah, it's definitely personal. It's a lot of like, I don't know, different. That's tough.
I mean, you don't have to get into the personal side of it or anything like that.
No, not like that necessarily, but I don't know. I always describe it as like this ethereal plane we go to while we're working on our stuff. Like that's kind of like the whole like idea of it, or at least from the creative aspect, at least like to watch what's going on. You kind of see that happening.
Yeah.
But I think like Flex Mentallo and Animal Man really were like big influences. Just like the way that they played with the medium and like wanting to show like what the medium can do. And I don't know, you can play with time and stuff. You can play like even just telling you to turn the page and stuff. Just little things I was trying to just fuck around with, and like even just in that first issue. And then like especially with the third one, it's a lot like I'm like playing with like the whole like formatting of like these panels and stuff, and like really like. And then the fourth one, I have so much like there's so much stuff that I'm so excited to like show out, because it's especially like the ending. I'm really excited for everyone to see it, because I think a lot of people that haven't jumped on yet, when they read it all at once,
yeah,
it's gonna be like really really exciting. Because I've shown there's like 2 or 3 people I've shown that all the way through, because I have a lot of it laid out still, and a lot of it paneled, because when I first started, I like went 1 through 4, sketched it all out and stuff, got it like a lot of it ready. But there's tons of stuff that like got cut out, that's just like in a file somewhere, and different pages got reworked or cut in half or whatever it is. But yeah, I was just doing it over and over and over, and then the image grand design came at the perfect time, because I was just circling the drain by myself, like not knowing what to like. I'm like kept doing something wrong in my head, or even just dumb little stuff, page size and having to redo pages and shit.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a lot of influences too. I know like the Pink Floyd and stuff, like The Wall. I think there's like a lot of influence in there. Even like I was watching the music video for Welcome to the Machine, and a lot of just like the pivot point stuff, I think always really stuck with me, where it's just like something moves and it changes into something else, you know, like the needle turning into like the string on the guitar and all that sort of shit. I think that really stuck with me a lot. And Grant Morrison for sure. A lot of things him and Alan Moore, they've done with the medium, playing with like the fourth wall and stuff. That always like sticks. Yeah. And then the love for comics in general, like with Cosmicat, like I can play with different tropes of comics.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like rambling at this point, but yeah, you kind of get my picture.
I mean, I was with you the whole time. I don't think you're rambling. What? So, and 4 is the last one.
Like 4 will be the last one. Yeah.
All right, so are you? I mean, clearly you've got to do a graphic novel of it at some point. Are you going to put all the stuff that got cut and all the stuff that didn't make it, like, just throw it in the trunk of the graphic novel? So it's.
I probably should, because that's what I keep thinking about. Is where it's like I feel like. Well, I mean, you know, there's plenty of people out there still that haven't seen the book and stuff, but I feel like the people that care about it have gotten the issues. So I'm like, okay, so what's the sell for this trade? Like, do I even do this trade? You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
But you know, it's for like the next audience. But I guess like
right,
they're like, I would like to like recolor like at least issue 1, maybe parts of issue 2, but issue 1 for sure. And then like like the stuff in the back, like I can't think of anyone else that's done a pinup off the top of my head, but I know like Alan Greenwood did one for the Power, and now I'm like, okay, that needs to go in the back of my trade whenever I make that.
Yeah,
this is a cool one, but
how'd you land on the? Oh no, go ahead.
Keep going.
I was gonna say, how'd you land on which homage covers? Because you did homage covers on at least the first 3. How'd you land on which ones you were gonna do?
I have this too. I have this one where it's like I had one for the like New Gods too, where it was like Orion's on his like little like flyer.
Little ski
I
thing,
had
yeah.
one where he's at the table flying in the air and shit.
Nice.
I have a bunch. I have a ton of them. I think it was just me trying to figure out which one would look cool. I don't know. What is the? Where is it? I know it's in here. This is like all the Power stuff. I think just things that I thought that I could make look cool, you know, or at least like make look like a cover. There's some stuff like with that chair. Like what else? Here's a couple Fantastic Four ones, or there was like a Walking Dead one where it's like it's the house and you just see his hand hanging down, but it's got like a pencil in his hand. I want to do a 2001 an homage for the trade though. That's what I would like to do on the front and back cover. Like I've already got that kind of figured out.
Yeah. Oh man.
So like these
good stuff.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Definitely had to get Kirby in there, like with issue 4, to get the Fantastic Four #1.
Yeah. So good. Have you, speaking of tattoos, like you have very, what's the word I'm thinking of? Damn it, bourbon got me again. Have you ever thought about doing tattoos? Because your art seems like it would lend itself very well to like as words escaping me, perfect as it is. Like it's very architectural. Have you ever thought about doing tats?
Oh man. So first of all, the big thing that even stops me from like trying, because like Craig, he owns tattoo shops, he would teach me and stuff like that. I don't have any tattoos, and I don't really have any plans on getting tattoos. I feel like someone with tattoos getting tattoos from me probably wouldn't really like the idea of me not having it.
That's true.
So I think that's the big deterrent. Would I like to? Definitely. Like I've designed at least 1, maybe 2. I've designed one for a buddy that I know for sure. It was like a real simple Star Wars thing though, but it was nothing real intricate or anything, but that would be cool, or at least to see someone else do it.
Yeah. Intricate was the word I was looking for, by the way. Thank you. Not architectural. That's where I landed, but intricate was the word I was looking for.
Thanks.
All right, so we're winding down here. I do want to touch on one more thing. I've got to know, so G.I. Joe Classified.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you draw in ink, like during Inktober and stuff, G.I. Joe characters. And it looks great. So why the shift from drawing to the pictures? The pictures look dope, don't get me wrong. I'm just curious, like how did that happen?
Because I was taking the pictures already, but then it was like I wanted to post them on the and it was like another way to get like more eyes on my stuff too, which helped. But it was what basically started it, because it's like I collected them anyways, and I'd be fucking around, and like they're so crazy articulate, and like I have like the contrapposta kind of concept in my head, so I can make them look cool pretty easily. But I'd post them in like the Facebook groups, and then like they blow up, and I'm like, oh shit, I should put this on my Instagram. But like that last one that I did it because like there's like a group chat I'm in on Instagram, and I haven't done one with them in so long, and I'm like, all right, I'll do one with you guys, like because I haven't in so long. But it was even like I didn't have the behind the scenes, but it was so just like it was like so minimal and like real simple. But I just like them a lot. But I don't think the people that enjoy my comics like them as much as I do. So I try not to post them as much. I've had people comment on it, like make comments on it before in a negative way, and I'm like, all right, maybe I shouldn't post so much of these on here.
Screw that. Nah, I think that to me it was like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, is he gonna do like a stop motion thing? Because I'll freak out. I love stop motion, and like the one shot. God, I don't remember who it was now, which character it was. But anyway, the shot was so pristine that I was like, this is gonna be perfect for like a stop motion situation. And then it turned out to be what it was, which was cool. But I don't screw that. I mean, stick with it.
Yeah,
even if it's
it was said when the Power 3 wasn't out, so it was like, damn, you're right. I'm fucking around. I need to like get my third issue out.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, but I get that all the time. Like. You get people that are fans of one thing, and they don't want you to do that one thing. So, all right, in closing, here's the last question I have. What does being a cartoonist give you that you don't get anywhere else?
A lot of stuff.
I may have went too deep to close us out here.
No, but I mean, like, there's like obviously the sense of accomplishment. There's commitment. There's being able to see things through to the end. There's deadlines. It's never going to be perfect. Like a lot of people will either get hung up on that or use it as an excuse to never create. Like, well, I'm a perfectionist. It's like there's some people that I talked to recently, and they were just stuck in the world building process, and I'm like, dude, if you just do like one, like same world, but let's just start with one page, little story about this world, and you start with there, but then you do that, and I just keep using the next panel press example with people, and I'm like, dude, once every 2 weeks, but I'm like, or you could do it once every week. Like, I have a lot of stuff going on that I'm working on all the time, so I need that extra week to be able to get to the next one. But if you're only working on that one thing, because I know for me personally, I wasted a lot of fucking time just doing nothing with nothing to show for it,
Yeah.
And people could say what they say, whatever about sitting around and drawing, but like at the end of a period of time, you're gonna have this book, and it's gonna show like this commitment and a legacy, even, and just a lot of stuff that you're able to like what you accomplished, and then like. With like the Power 3, like you compare that to the first one, it's like way better looking than the first one, and like the Power 4 will be way better than the third one, and so on and so on, So it's like you also get to see how much better you get, and how much worse you were than you thought you were too.
Right.
It's like, God, how did anyone encourage me? Like when people just buy the first issue at shows, I'm like, oh, they're never coming back.
Right. I mean, I get that. With my only issue of a comic, like you can tell from the beginning to the end of that comic that I didn't even have a solid look for Jan for the first quarter of the book. He was a different look on every page.
Right.
So I have to explain, like, look,
I feel that.
Yes, the art is amateurish. I'll cop to that. I cop to it at shows. I was like, but the writing, like that's my first love is prose. So the writing, I'll go toe to toe with anybody that tells me, you may not like it, that's fine, but you can't tell me it was poorly written.
Right.
That I will argue. Poorly drawn, I mean, that's fair.
Subjective.
It is subjective, but I'll cop to the fact that, yeah, I've been drawing for 2 years at this point. So, but no, I get what you're saying. And I like that mindset of like, hey, it's done. Like I did this. This is out in the world for good and bad. It's out there. I did it.
Next Panel Press helps with that so much. Me and Jerome Cabanatan talk about that a lot, or it's, man, and then especially where I'm like, I have the mindset now where I'm like, okay, I'm eventually going to fix these panels. So that kind of gives me a little bit of like less weight on me, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, God, just the odds that all 8 panels are going to be how I like them, it's just so low. And every time I'm just like, God, I hate like 3 or 4 of you at least.
All right, man. Well, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Doom Days on Instagram and like pretty much everywhere else except Twitter or whatever it's called now. I have to have an underscore in there. There's someone that has Doom Days randomly as their Twitter thing, but they haven't used it in like 7 years. I message them, they don't use their account at all, so I'm like, okay, underscore Doom Days it is, or maybe it's Doom Days underscore, one of the two on there, but
yeah,
you can find me like that. And then Rick Lopez cartoonist on Facebook, or Rick Lopez. You could add me if you're cool.
I'll put all that down below. So, all right. Well, I mean, unless you had
and Next Panel Press.
Oh, yep, right there, right,
Always,
right in front of us. We missed it. I'll put all that down below.
I appreciate it a lot, Aaron.
Yeah.
I'll be at LA Comic-Con in December. There's another art show up here. I need to find out more info still, but it's sometime in October. I'm gonna have art up there for 2 days, and we're gonna table there as well for 2 days. But it's local, so that'll be really cool. And then in March, I have that IC3 in Connecticut, I'm so excited for that. We're gonna stay out there for a few days, and I'll get to meet like Craig and a bunch of people I never met before. So
yeah,
I'm really excited about that.
Thanks for having a drink with me.
Absolutely, dude. Cheers.